course, last night is the World Baseball Classic, USA losing to Venezuela 3-2. Before I rip on the USA, before I rip on manager Mark DeRosa and the MLB for not allowing players to pitch in the championship, I want to give Venezuela credit, give credit where credit is due. They deserve to win that game 100%. Eduardo Rodriguez was exceptional in that game. Michael Garcia winning the World Baseball Classic MVP, Acuna leaving his mark, Salvador Perez most likely is going to be that this was his last World Baseball Classic. So Venezuela winning their first tournament, World Baseball Classic history. So good for them. They deserve to win that game. The USA has only themselves to blame. But for the most part, USA was lifeless during that entire game against Venezuela. You're supposed to be the super team. You're supposed to be the juggernaut. You beat DR. You barely beat DR. I know we said they were exposed. DR lost the game, fine, whatever, however you want to slice it. But you go and you play Venezuela, you have a day rest, and you score 2 runs on 3 hits. If it wasn't for Bryce Harper, you would have been shut out. It blows my mind that USA has that talented and that stacked of a team, and they go out and they put that performance out there. Yeah, Venezuela had a great game, but you can't tell me that the USA you would have told me the USA would have scored 2 runs in the World Baseball Classic Championship. I would have been like, huh? You have a day rest? Venezuela's coming off of a big game against Italy. They came back and beat Italy. USA came off a big game against the Dominican Republic. Game could have gone either way. We're not going to sit here and debate for the next 100 years about the Mason Miller Perdomo ball strike controversial call. There should have been there should be ABS in the World Baseball Classic. We're not going to talk about that. But sticking here on the USA Venezuela game, Aaron Judge is the captain of this team, and he goes 0 for 4. You're the MVP in the AL. You're arguably the best player in the MLB aside from Ohtani. As a pure player, of course, Ohtani's the unicorn. You're the best player in the MLB, and you're the captain, and you go 0 for 4? Listen, I understand, Judge, you were great in the Dominican Republic game. You got robbed of a home run. You took away Tatis's you gunned out Tatis at third. You robbed Soto of a base hit there, but the World Baseball Classic did resume. Championship did have happened last night, and that's what you put up as a performance. And another thing too, Mark DeRosa. I don't know why he was hired to be the World Baseball Classic manager again. I don't know if other managers in the MLB didn't want to participate. I'm not sure. I'm just putting my 2 cents out there, but he's an MLB analyst. I understand he played in the MLB for 16 seasons. I totally understand that. And he was the manager for the last World Baseball Classic. But you can't sit here and tell me that you want to play with analytics and you want to play with metrics over who should be out there and who is the best. You had Gunnar Henderson that you benched for Alex Bregman. You benched PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, for Byron Buxton. Oh, righty, lefty matchup, lefty, righty. Listen, you send out the best players in a World Baseball Classic. And another thing, too, I was so frustrated to find out that the MLB was not allowing certain pitchers to pitch in the last game. What's the point of playing in the tournament if certain players can't play or there's a certain pitch count? Listen, I understand there's a whole thing about this, but if the tournament isn't to be taken serious, why even play in it in the first place? Clearly the players didn't take it that serious because obviously you had Tarek Skubal who removed himself from the tournament. There was plenty of other USA players that could have played in this tournament, but they decided not to. I understand in their mind they think it's an exhibition, but this determines who's the best baseball team in the world, right? The World Baseball Classic. And this is another thing too. If you want to treat the 4 nations in the World Baseball Classic as the same and the Olympics are different, that's perfectly fine. But don't complain when you lose to Venezuela, right? That's really what I have to say on that point there. Super frustrating loss for USA. They should have won that game. Venezuela played a great game, and the USA skimped by, I feel like, because you lost to Italy in pool play. You were, who knew if the whole Italy Mexico thing, which you needed Italy to win, which they did. So you were very lucky that you weren't eliminated in pool play. So this was long overdue for USA. They didn't deserve to win the game. You went flat against the DR. Your pitching bailed you out. Your God Squad All-Star lineup did absolutely nothing against DR other than 2 solo home runs. And you didn't do anything against Venezuela. And luckily, thank God for Bryce Harper. But listen, guys, hats off to Venezuela on a great tournament. Their first World Baseball Classic won in history. And really, that's all I have to say. Let's see. Maybe USA will show up the next time around. Maybe next time they'll take it more serious than they did for this tournament here. Maybe next time the World Baseball Classic USA team will not hire Mark DeRosa as their manager and say, hey, maybe we need a real manager. But hey, I rest my case on that.